If you want to check out different content from myself, I've just set up a second channel where I'm going to post fitness and things. The link for that will be in the description. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new video. We're going to continue with our series of my favourite players in FIFA 20. And we're going to kick things off with a big boy who is a big boy, but now not so much because he's actually really affordable. And that is, of course, Neymar. 92 rated, standard gold card. I know there are better versions out there. He does have himself a team of the season, as well as a headliner and a player of the month, an informed team of the year nominee. But, like I said, we're going to talk about the standard Neymar, because the standard one is the one that I've used the most. Got quite a few games with him. He's now very cheap, actually. 90,000 coins is not an awful lot to pay for a name like Neymar. But obviously, with as many versions as he has, you would be probably, I wouldn't say foolish to buy this version, but there definitely are, cards that compete with this out there. But even now, he does still offer an awful lot. Back through when I was playing with him in sort of the early stages, up when he was around the sort of 600,000-700,000 coin mark, he was fantastic. And as time has gone on, cards have caught up with him. But still, 5-star. High attacking work rate, Neymar body type, not a lean body type, but Neymar body type. He's just very, very quick, very, very skillful, great on the ball, fits the meta of the game very well. The only thing that really let me down with him, and I'm sure that everyone would have the same story if you were to ask them, it's the stamina. The stamina is realistically the only bad point about the card. Strength isn't ideal. Of course, you'd like to have a little bit more in the way of strength, a bit more of a shoulder-to-shoulder action, if you will, but for the most part, you can skill your way out of it. You can dribble your way out of it. It's really not a problem. I was a big fan of him. Didn't score as many goals with him as maybe I thought I would, and he was more of a facilitator. He was getting more crosses, more sort of low drivens across the area, skilling my way in, taking a shot, getting saved, but then scoring the rebound. So he's sort of got second-hand assists, if you will. But all in all, just all the way through the game, had an awful lot of fun with him, and was definitely a player that I would recommend picking up even now if you haven't used him already, because he is, 90 to 95k. Moving on to an honourable mention. We're not going to dwell on this one too long because I know a lot of you won't agree with me, but that's okay because I'm a Liverpool fan, so that's why I want to talk about this card. Now, he did have a Footmas 84 rated. I picked that up. Wasn't anywhere near as good as FIFA 19's Scream card. That card will go down in folklore on my channel, especially on the Road to Glory. This card, this Winter Refresh League SBC card, flew under the radar of many because League SBC cards, they just tend to just fly under the radar. No one seems to really remember them or care about them too much because they tend to be quite expensive to pick up. But this card was very, very good. It didn't last because it got overtaken very, very quickly. But for that maybe 2-week period of when it came out, it was a very good card. I did enjoy using it. The 5-star skills, the 4-star weak foot. He has his own body type, but again, it's sort of like a short and lean. Very, very good card. I liked it a lot. It's just a shame they didn't boost it enough. If this was an 89 rated, 90 rated card, we would have been... I think a lot more people would have used it. We'd be talking about a card that everyone would have enjoyed. But for me, I still like it. Moving on to Politano. Now, traditionally, I would maybe talk about the 87 and maybe in another video talk about the 89, but that would be just a waste in my opinion. So we're going to talk about both the 87 and the 89 in this video. Now, they both play for two different teams. Fortunately, they both are Italian clubs, so it didn't matter too much in terms of chemistry. At least to me, it didn't. To some people, it may have done, of course. But the Inter, the 87 rated card, which is the one that I used the most, incidentally, and the reason for that is because you had to grind an awful lot with that 87. Well, no, that's a lie. You had to grind an awful lot to get the 87. The grind for the 89 wasn't too much, but because it took so long for EA to actually release the 89, I was using the 87 for months before we even got the opportunity to upgrade them. If they do that in FIFA 21, I really hope that they make it available right from the get-go. They make it very difficult, or rather long-winded, and they allow you to do it straight away, rather than having to wait for them to say, now you can grind for the 89. That is still behind the curve when you get it. Do you know what I mean? I hate things being behind time walls and having to rely on EA to tell us when we can and cannot work for things. I want it all in the game right from the beginning, and it's just going to take me months and months to be able to grind these things out. But that's just me. The 87, I would argue, is it's not better than the 89. The 89 is a better card, but I had more fun with the 87 than I did with the 89. One of the reasons was because I just used it more. And at the time, that card was phenomenal. The 87 compared to everything else was insanely good. If you gave him the right chem style, you had a 91, 92 rated winger, and there was almost nothing at the time that was out that could compete with that Politano card. So it was way ahead of its time, if you will. When the 89 came out, it was still a good card. And again, if you gave him like a Maestro, you could still get like a 93, 94 rated card out of him. But there were cards that could compete with that. And it didn't feel too much better than the 87. So shout out to the 89, but the 87 is the one that I really, really liked. And I was a big, big fan of that card. Now, I want to talk about another League SBC Winter Refresh card, and that is Verdi. And again, it's another card that went under the radar. Not many people used him, but a very good card nonetheless. Now, of course, these days he has a 93 Summer Heat that was available as an SBC. I picked it up. I've since got rid of it because I wasn't really using it. I had him and Belotti, which of course is a nice hyperlink. And Belotti is absolutely incredible, but I won't talk too much about him because he is going to come up in a future video. But the Summer Heat Verdi card was good, but the 87 is the one that I used the most. Again, I didn't use it like a crazy amount, and it wasn't one that really stands out too much in my mind, but definitely deserves a mention because he's so underrated, or rather, he was so underrated when he came out. Now, a very expensive card because that League SBC, because people just aren't opening silvers and bronze packs, that League SBC would cost you upwards of 400,000, which is just not worth it in the slightest. But there was a time where the SBC was around 240, 250, and even less than that sometimes. I think it dropped down to about 210k at one point in April, which was insane, and that was the best time to do them. All the way from maybe January to April, maybe the beginning of May were the best time to do League SBCs, and then all of a sudden player prices started to shoot up. Things got really expensive to the point we are now where no one's opening packs and things are just too expensive. So if you have Verdi in your club from time ago, or maybe you're about 50k away from finishing the Serie A, I would get it done. Because even now, I think this card could be a little bit of fun to use. Give him the right chem style, you can turn him into a 92 rated winger. If you have the Summer Heat, of course, it's pointless even discussing this because the Summer Heat card is very good. From experience, it is a very, very good card. I've reviewed it, I've played with it. Like I said, I completed it, had him in the team for a few weeks, and he was a very, very good player. But that Winter Refresh card was just one that went under the radar a little bit. Nice 5-star weak foot on him as well as a good work rate, 4-star skills. Absolutely nothing to complain about, really. Apart from maybe the stamina, which is something that EA didn't get right until the end of the game with the Summer Heat cards. The Summer Heat version, by the way, is 95 stamina. They sorted their lives out, but it took them a while. We're going to move now to our final player. I'm not going to dwell too much on this, even though this isn't an honourable mention. This is a fully fledged, I enjoyed this card when it came out, and it sort of filled a gap for me. We're going to talk about 93 Sergio Ramos. Now, I'm fully aware that he has a team of the season, and even though I've packed that a couple of times and I've used it a few times in sort of proper squads, it's not the card that stands out to me more. This one does, the player moments. And the reason for that is because at the time, again, he was such a good card. And now it's going to cost you around 780k. The average price of this was around sort of 500k-ish. You could get it as, under 400k at one point in June when the market was on the floor. And then all of a sudden the market picked up and now no one's opening packs. Everything's really expensive. And of course they've got sort of upgrades and things in there. But either way, Is this card good enough these days? I mean, yeah, probably, but you would want to go for that team of the season, I would have thought. The team of the season, incidentally, is going to cost you nowhere near the same amount as the player moments. It's half the price. It's about 400k to get the team of the season if you are looking to buy a card with coins. So go for that rather than go for the player moments. But at the time when that SBC was dropped, this was a really, really good card, really, really handy. I used to play him at right back, but then switch him into a centre back, or play him at centre back on 7 chem. And this year I've got a lot better with that. I'm playing cards on 7 chem and not minded it too much. But Ramos was a very, very good, capable defender at the time. I did play him at right back a few times actually, but just didn't really do it for me. Wasn't sort of agile enough. His passing wasn't quite good enough to be that sort of position. But as a 7 chem centre back, I really liked this card at the time. It was really, really good. Just as a side note, the team of the season is a very good card as well. Him and Rafael Varane's team of the season at the back are fantastic. I would probably go for Eder Militao and Varane as a combination rather than Ramos. But, if you have Ramos and you have Varane or you have Militao, put both of those together and you have a formidable partnership. But that, my friends, is going to bring us to the end of yet another video. Just a few cards I really liked. Big standout one there for me is the underratedness of what Shaqiri was when he came out, and Verdi's 5-star weak foot, because again, that was on the verge of the time where 5-star weak foots were nice to have, but no one really went out of their way to get one because they didn't realise how useful they were. And Politano, arguably one of the best cards we've had this FIFA. But let me know, what do you think is the most underrated card released this FIFA? That'd be interesting, Reed. Let me know in the comments. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.